Hello TikTokers, my name is Min Cox. I am the wife of Gavin Cox for 36 years. It was my husband that was a participant in the magician David Copperfield Lucky 13 trick. David Copperfield left my husband brain damaged. They forced him to run at speed. My husband hit the floor. He suffered a bleed on the brain. He spent 4 months in a brain unit in California and had multiple other injuries. During trial, because the jurors were not allowed to see the medical, they called my husband a liar, a feigner, a fake. They said that don't believe a word that comes out of his mouth because to do that is the green box, he just wants a payoff. Ironically, the defence were caught on sub rosa video by my own lawyers actively, physically altering and tampering with Copperfield's accident site. After my husband Gavin had testified it was dark and dusty, they were caught. Magician David Copperfield's lawyer Elaine Fresh was caught in rubber gloves and a headscarf, actively, physically cleaning the walls, having extra lighting erected, and if that was not bad enough, they had invited their specialist, his name's Dr. Baker, with a light meter so he could falsify his report and then lie to the jurors and make out that my husband was a liar and a feigner and a cheat. My husband did not utter one lie. He did not feign one injury. And this man, magician David Copperfield, was caught. In court, he stated that he had never been sued for the Lucky 13 trick and that no one had ever been injured. Yet 4 people came forward to testify that they too had been injured and the jurors were never allowed to know the truth. Now, when my husband testified, he accepted assistance from the court clerk to the stand. And because he accepted assistance, they called him a liar and a feigner and a fake because they showed video of my husband walking the dog without any assistance. However, they did not let the jurors know that my husband had prisms in his glasses, that small spaces, pattern flooring, were seizure triggers because the brain damage had affected his optical nerve. The jurors were never allowed to know that truth. So TikTokers, I say to you, everything that I have posted is the absolute truth. And to top it all, this case is not over, for the defence are now cross-suing one another as to which insurer is responsible for their litigation fees now that they've got rid of us. And it's really, really important, TikTokers, that you know we had insurance. And our insurers, they wrote to the MGM and Copperfield and they asked for the accident report, which we completed. I have the internal documents and I'm going to post them later. The MGM wrote to our insurer and said categorically, Mr. Cox did not physically or verbally complete an accident report. So we were forced to live in Nevada for 5 years fighting for the truth, fighting litigation. And David Copperfield, you know you're a disgusting liar and what you did to my husband. Now, all you had to do was help my husband and not leave him in the gutter and allow us to use our insurance, and your trick would never have been exposed. But your lawyers are abusing their position because they are using the insurers to pay their litigation fees, yet the defence insurers, star insurers, have just emailed me and they have admitted that the MGM lawyers, including your lawyer, David, Elaine Fresh, was caught cleaning up the accident site before the jury visit. And the jurors were never allowed to know what she did, that she was caught, that there was extra lighting being erected after my husband said it was dark and dusty, that the expert was there that testified the following morning on May the 8th, 2018. Now, this case only closed formally on the 14th of April, 2023. And as far as you're concerned, Justice Christina Pickering, shame on you. because you knew that Elaine Fresh, David Copperfield's lawyer, was caught altering and actively tampering with the evidence, yet you wrote your opinion based on credibility. And you have the audacity to question my husband's credibility when you knew and you saw the medical evidence and you knew he had prisms in his glasses, why he had to have assistants in the courtroom, and why small spaces were a trigger. So for you jurors out there, now you know the truth. I am Min Cox, and I will fight for my husband's justice and for my family, because David Copperfield, you are the world's biggest fraudster, liar, and you are a despicable human being for destroying innocent lives. And I stand by every single word I say and I post. And there is a reckoning coming, and karma too, because the world now knows what a lying, disgusting, scumbag individual you are. And as for you, lawyer Elaine Fresh, she just made a formal statement to the California bar that she had no part in cleaning or altering the subject site, the accident site where my husband was left brain damaged, where he had a bleed on the brain. She made a full statement to the California bar, and now the defense's insurers have just sent an email admitting that they knew that the MGM lawyers cleaned up the site before the jury visit. But the jurors weren't allowed to know. No. The jurors were made to make sure that they thought we were the reason why the jury visit was cancelled, that we had something to hide. And as for you, Justice Mark Denton, may you hang your head in total and utter shame, because everybody knows that the MGM owns you. What you did to us as British tourists, denying us our insurance cover, knowing we had insurance, knowing they lied to our insurance company, and now you have the audacity to allow a jury trial this October to determine which insurer should pay the litigation fees for the last 10 years. I'm sorry, but that's fraud in my book. And these insurance covers, Barclays Insurers, Nautilus, Star Insurance, you need to wake up. And as for you, Star Insurance, to admit to me that you knew that my husband was innocent. You knew that they altered the accident site after my husband testified, and you watched my husband be slaughtered and my family destroyed. Star Insurance, shame on you. Nautilus, Barclays Sum, W.R. Barclay, hang your heads in utter shame for destroying an innocent family and for destroying my husband, who's permanently disabled. We have suffered. You have no idea the suffering we endure because of your lies and deceit. And may all of you burn in hell. And as for you, Elaine Fresh and Jerry Popovich, I'm not done with you yet, and neither is the California State Bar, because to conceal material fact, to misrepresent fact, for you to blatantly make a statement and lie and say you had nothing to do with it, and now the insurers have thrown you under the bus, you've got some explaining to do, lady. You can't get out of this one. You are a disgusting liar, and I hope they disbar you permanently and hang your head in total and utter shame. Because if magician David Copperfield was so innocent, you wouldn't have been there with your rubber gloves and your headscarf altering and tampering with the accident site. How dare you? How dare you act in such a manner? And you're a lawyer? You call yourself a big hotshot lawyer? You are a despicable